All right, guys, so this is Aaron again, video number 3. We made it to 3. And gosh, stress, so much a part of our lives. Just different things that trigger us throughout the day, and it gets in our minds and our hearts, and it bothers us. And I know these videos have given you some value with some tips that I've shared about managing your stress and getting it reduced. So again, it's Aaron here today to share the third video, which is reducing financial stress. Reducing financial stress. If you can see that, let's just get that fixed right away. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about for this video, is how to get that lowered. Now, I already know that people are like, look, Aaron, I already know about that I'm stressed about my finances. So I really don't need to go into all the impacts that it has on your health and my health and our health. We're just going to get right to the tips today, and we're going to talk about each one of these. So we're going to start with, now I'm going to share 3 tips that I personally have found success from. So I've already done the work. I've already done the research, and I've already found value from it. So you don't even have to do that. I think a lot of times in life, we're wanting things to be the most convenient. Well, I'm giving you 3 tips today on how to get your stress with finances lowered that I personally have practiced myself, and over the years have given these tips to other people to help lower their stress with finances. And it's really critical that you do these in order. I found out that in my experience, when I did these in order, it really gave me a ton of value. So, without any further talking here from me, the first one is to build a relationship through writing. Build a relationship through writing. Okay, what does that mean? What that means is, what I learned from a mentor of mine, is that on every even day of the month, you write, I love money because. And then you just write. And then on the odd days, you write, I don't like money because, or I hate money because, or I dislike money because. And on those days, you're going to destroy that paper. So I did this. I practiced this for about a month. On every even day of that month, I wrote, I love money because. And on the odd days, I wrote, I don't like money because. And then I burned it, or I tore it up and threw it away, but I destroyed it. And so I found a ton of value from this. A ton of value. So it's why I recommend it to start out with when you're looking to improve your relationship with money. It's a mindset thing. Like, you have programs that you've carried with you from childhood about money. They're in there. And if you're someone like me that blames money for all your problems, and if you just had more money, you wouldn't have this many things to have to be stressed about, you're fooling yourself, as I fooled myself. And I just avoided it for all these years. For a lot of years, I avoided my relationship with money. If money was a person, that person would probably not want to be around me, because I blame it for lots of things, right? So a while back, I took this suggestion that I received from someone else, and I thought, I really want to clean up what my relationship is with money. And so I did that. I wrote down different things, and here's my paper that I did it on, just to prove that, I did this. I practiced this myself. There was one day that I wrote that I wanted to share about what this will look like and sound like. Okay, so here's what I wrote. I love money because it allows me and Veronica, who's my wife, to learn how to work together. We have different ideas about money, but we work together to show money we have a partnership. This partnership is important to how we connect and have harmony in our life. I love money because it strengthens relationships when it's appreciated. which I didn't do for a lot of years. I thought, if we had more money, me and my wife would get along better together. But money actually, I've learned, and what I love it for, is that it's actually brought us closer together by talking about it. I share it with no envy or jealousy. I love money because when I invest in an exchange for knowledge, I share that knowledge with others who exchange money with me. And I'm in the flow of money. That was just one of my entries that I wrote about how I love money. Now, I don't know my writings about why I don't like money because I destroyed them. I wanted to create a new program in my mind about how I was going to think about money. And so that's my first tip to you. Build your relationship with money by writing to money and letting money know that you appreciate it and that you love it because of whatever your reasons are. Okay? Because honestly, there's some in here where I wrote about how money, pays bills and it allows us to have electricity and shelter and food. And those are just awesome things, obviously, that money takes care of. Looks like I went out of focus. There we go. Okay, now we're back. Okay, so build a relationship through writing. Okay? All right, the second tip that I'm going to give you today, and I'm going to write it here, but the second tip is to actually start communicating. Okay, so I started out by writing about money. I started to create an interest and a better relationship and connection to money. Then I wanted to get more involved with our financial situation with my partner, Veronica, my wife. So the second tip, and I'm left-handed, so I'm not very skilled at like writing across. My lefty's out there, you guys know. I'm just going to turn this so I'm not like turning my back towards you. But the second one is to start communicating. Communicating. When you're like writing, why is it going out of focus? When you're writing and you're kind of losing track of like the letters that you're using and stuff. But you know what? Being a left-hander, whatever, I can't go across there and do that. So hope you guys are okay with me just turning it towards me and writing on there. But number 2, start communicating. Now this is what I noticed happened when I started to build this relationship through writing about why I love money and why I didn't love money. It actually created this program in my mind that money is a good thing. See, I believe money is neutral. It's something that's outside of us that we manage on the inside. Okay, so my value, who I am personally, is not determined by the amount of money that I make. It's what I believe about myself. And really, when I was writing about my relationship with money, I pretty much was writing about how I felt about myself in a lot of those entries that I review and read again and again. So that led to me being like, I want to like communicate more what we're doing financially. Now, the benefit of that was that I started to see that when we talk about it, we actually come up with some solutions. In fact, last month we sat down together and we looked at where we're at with our spending, what was coming in, what was going out, and we realized there was a gap that we had to close up a little bit. We've been a little bit careless. So we sat down, we talked about a plan, and in the past month we were able to take care of it. Like, we were blessed to be able to figure it out. But I think sitting down and talking about it together, we were able to work with each other on some ideas to generate and create some experiences that allowed us to be in the flow of money. Now, if you're single and you're finding that you're having some stress with your finances, you can always include like an accountability partner. Maybe like a family member. Maybe you don't want them to know your financial situation, but there are people out there who'd be more than happy to support you on giving you some accountability and working with you on some idea generation and creating some things to get more in the flow of money. Okay, so number 2, Start talking about it. I don't know why this seems to be something that we do, and I do it myself, but we think, I just don't want to talk about tough stuff. I don't want to talk about things that have potential conflict. And I think we all know that financial stress, we know that it's a big contributor to why couples break up. It's a contributor. I don't know if we say it's the thing, but it definitely contributes to people saying, you know what? I just can't do this no more. So I think it's really important that we learn how to communicate, not just about money, but anything that has conflict. But money's a great one to start with, because there's going to be some stress with it. But when we work together, we can come up with some great ideas. Great ideas. Okay. And the third one, okay, so it's really important you do these in order. Okay, that's where I found personally the most value. I started to write about it. I started to generate some enthusiasm and some focus. Then that led to saying, hey, let's have a talk about this. I want to be more involved. I want to be helping with ideas. And that led to number 3, which is to set some goals with money. So set goals. So I'm going to turn this again towards me, because again, I'm grateful to be left-handed, and I think it's awesome. So I'm going to use this, I call it a weakness, that I can't write across, like write very legibly across, and I'm just going to own it, okay? So, okay, there we go. Okay, so the third one is to set goals. Set goals. So this one, you can see kind of how it went through this process, this order, right? Writing about it, I think about it more. I start to create this better relationship that's stronger. I start talking about it more. We start communicating. Then we take it to the next level, which is we actually set some goals. We set some goals to start working on getting more responsible with our money relationship. And in the past little while, we've definitely made some improvement. And I can say with surety that the connection between me and not only money, but it's actually trickled into other areas of my life. So because my relationship with money has gotten better, I start to see that, well, wow, this is really about how I'm connected to everything around me. If I can treat everything around me with similar respect and gratitude, that's only going to make my life that much sweeter and that much more peaceful. So it's not just money, but when me and my wife work together on communicating about where we're at with our budget or with our money situation, and then we set goals about how we want to use our money and what we're going to do with it, it strengthens the connection between me and her. And of course, that is going to be an awesome outcome within our family. Because when kids see mom and dad are smiling at each other and they're working together, like, oh wow, so that's how you're successful in life. You work together. You talk about stuff. You set goals. You work on relationships to improve them. And it's just awesome. I love it. So if you want to reduce your financial stress, in order, okay, that's where I found the most success. You, of course, can do it whatever way you want to do it. I'm just saying from my experience, what I learned is that when I went through each one of these in order, that's what gave me the best results. So I appreciate you guys for listening to video number 3. I know these videos are going to give you value. Trust me that there is such a better way to live life, and reducing our stress in this area is a big deal. Like, it is a big deal. There's a lot of stress that comes from this. 72% of people report stress with their finances, and 22% of adults report extreme stress. So take some time to evaluate where you're at, be open about it, work on your relationship, your connection to it, start talking about it, and set some goals. Thanks for listening in. I hope you guys have a great day.